What's up? Welcome back to the World Hard Enduro podcast, where we are dedicated to following the world of hard enduro. If you are a dirt bike rider or lover and just generally want to follow the Hard Enduro World Championship as well as the riders and brands that sponsor these awesome events, then this is the podcast for you.
In this episode, we are speaking about Xross Hard Enduro Rally. We discuss which riders are entered from the championship and junior championship, as well as the women, and we also have an exclusive interview with a representative from the Xross race.
Xross is the third round of the Hard Enduro World Championship following this prestigious Erzberg rodeo, which happened not too long ago. When is this race?
It is from the 19th to the 22nd of June.
And if I'm not mistaken, it is the first one that adopts the rally style format of the Hard Enduro World Championship.
What exactly does that mean? What is the difference between a rally format as opposed to the previous rounds that we've been watching?
That's actually a really good question. So we've got a insert here from the FIM rules and regulations explaining the difference between these types of races. So first we have the ABA, which is the start and finish are generally in the same location, where there is a checkpoint in the middle of the race or the loop where the riders are then checked to make sure that they've reached the furthest point of the track. And then they return back to the start finish area and they do one lap of this. Then you've got the A to B format of racing. Usually this has checkpoints with inside of the actual track. The start and finish location are probably not in the same location. If I'm not mistaken, this is pretty much what we see from Erzberg Rodeo, where we have 27 checkpoints, right? And the riders would then start in a different location to where they finish, and then they have to proceed going through all the different checkpoints inside the route. Then the second last type of race format is a multi-lap race format, which we see is from start to finish is in the same location with multiple checkpoints in between. And they generally do 2, 3, or 4 laps or more of this, which we saw at Valley's Hard Enduro, so the first round of the Hard Enduro World Championship. Xross is the first one where we see the rally style format, which is a multi-day A to B race format. Usually they have a service point, which takes 20 minutes, and you have to kind of rest and take on nutrients as well as eat and service your bike inside the days. These days are generally quite long. You've got more than or plus minus 800 kilometers to go inside these races on these race days. So it's a long, grueling day out on the motorcycle, and it definitely favors the guys that like riding their motorcycles for long days.
I think that is a good cue for us to head into the exclusive interview that we had with Mr. Koma from the Xross Hard Enduro Rally. He gave us a really good interview and a good information about what to expect from the race, a little bit of the history of the race, and some tips for the riders. So be sure to listen carefully, and we'll be back after the interview. Koma, welcome to the World Hard Enduro podcast. We are very excited to have you speak to us today and tell us more about the Xross event. Would you please take a moment to introduce yourself as well as your role in the event?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. You invite us, and it's really nice to be the part of so big with the podcasts. It's nice that someone can hear something from organizer and from this side, which is not so bright like the rider side. But yes, my friend Nicola and I, we make this event 11 years ago. So it was 10. This one is 10th edition, but we have 1 year without Corona, so we didn't make the race. And we started, like I said, 11 years ago, and the last 3 years in the championship, and it did something based about our race. So we are based in the Serbia, and we had some issues before with the foreigners to come in and out out of European Unions, but in the past few years we solved these issues, so everyone can go in and out, and now we have a lot of riders from abroad, to say more or less 99%, and we are really happy that people travel around the world, come here and enjoy the race.
Absolutely. It, as you said, since around 2014, the race has come a long way. It has expanded not only in how much terrain is covered in one, weekend, but also how many riders and the support from the international community.
Yes, it's in the beginning we didn't want to make the small race, so it was not our idea that we make some laps. Our idea is to make and it is now to make some big race in the rally format. And from the first year until now, we were in the same direction. We were on the way that race is. In the beginning, we had also the adventure bikes, which was really interesting, but we didn't have enough riders because the adventure bikes were expensive, and if someone crashed, it cost a lot. So basically, we after a few years decided not to go with adventure bikes, and also we couldn't cover in one race 2 races, because the riders who ride adventure bike, they say, we just ride the roads and something, what is for you it's nothing, but they don't understand that it's the same. You must have security guys, you must have to close the roads, you must have ambulances, you must have marking, timekeeping, etc. So it's not just we ride adventure bikes. It's like you say, yes, if we ride, for example, the Dakar Rally, it's nothing. You have just start, go over the desert, and somewhere is the finish. But it's totally opposite to make this. So we worked in this rally format. We tried to implement many new things. We started first with trackers, so the GPS was before, in Romania. We did it after that, the second one, but we tried to have we put a lot on safety side. So we cover big area. We ride in around 50 by 50 kilometers, so it's really huge area. We covered now 3 mountains and more. And I don't know, if you go by car, you have 1 hour by main road from one point to another, or maybe more. And the point is, if you have 300 riders or more, it's really difficult to see where they are and to be safety. So we put a lot on this safety aspects, and we started with the trackers, which we gave to every rider, that we can follow them on the map, that we can see where they are, that how we can secure them, how we can help them, etc. And after a few years, many of the organizers were really skeptic about this innovation. But now I see that much more organizers and races have this in their format. So it's really nice, and we are happy that we introduce it in this kind of the races.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's really cool to be able to, because there's also the live timing. So as spectators, we can also follow the riders, and I think
That's also really nice that you can follow your favorite rider somewhere from abroad. But main reason for us was really the safety side. It was that it's really remote areas, it's really big areas, and if you don't have the system like this one, you can't react really fast. That's the point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really wise decision to focus on safety, especially in a sport like this. Anything can happen, accidents can happen. So I think that's a really good priority to have. Speaking about the race, and now that it's part of, since I think 2022, part of the FIM Hard Enduro World Championship, obviously that must have been a very exciting and motivating time to become part of the championship. But I'd like to know, from your opinion, how do you think that this race is unique or different from some of the other races in the championship?
I think one of the unique we are you in the World Championship we don't have a lot of rally races, rally format, so it's Romanians and we, so this is the to say the most special part of the our race, because we are not small race where we make some laps with technical section, etc. So we ride 3 days, and each days the riders are more than 100 kilometers on the bikes. So this rally format is something really special. Romanians has it, we has it. We have the nature that can cover this, and this wild area what we can ride. And I can't say what from my side it's something special, but I can say what the riders said they are special. So they like our hospitality, they like to come here, they like the infrastructure, that we have everything around, that everything are close in the walking distance, that they don't need they ride the rally but don't need to transport bikes with the vehicles, with the trailers, etc. So they start from the paddock, finish in the paddock each day, and they ride a lot. And also it's not so expensive for food, accommodation, really nice accommodations, etc. And it's really friendly here, so people really like to come enjoy like at home. And I think this is the most special from our race, that everyone say yes, we are feeling here like we are at home, it's relaxed, and we ride a lot. And like I said, this rally format is unique in the World Championship.
You said that the riders can expect to cover almost 100 kilometers per day. That is definitely a demanding race for the riders. Do you think that this year will be one of the most challenging years so far for the competition?
I don't know. We every year we have the same around 100 kilometers per day. Maybe some classes a little less, some classes a little up more. But that's we are looking to be like that. This year will be dry. I hope will not be so difficult. Always it's better when it's dry. We have really nice weather this week. Maybe will be a little hotter than we want, but we can't order exactly what we want for the race. But generally, yes, it's will be nice, and depends of what means 100 kilometers. If that is not hard sections, etc., that is not too much. But we have a lot of rocky sections, so we are not so grassy mountains. We are more or less stony mountains, and that means that it's really physical demand, and you can't take a rest on the, for example, if you go some roads and some small paths and you say yes, you relax, you also have to be really careful because lots of stones there, etc. So basically, yes, it's a tough race for sure. It's 100 kilometer in the car is a lot, but on the bike for sure it's
A lot more
really
challenging.
yeah.
Do you have someone who is setting the track? Is it someone local, or is it someone with international experience who helps to, set this track of almost 100 kilometers?
Yeah. Basically, I did with my friends these basic tracks years from the beginning, and the first to say 7 years. I did it with friends, everything. But when we started with the World Championship and all organization which required to be on the next level, it was impossible to be in the woods months, etc. What is also special for us, this is not our job, so my friend and I and the friends who help us, we can say we are all the volunteers, because we have our personal jobs and we work for our families, etc. So this was the hobby from the first day, really hobby that we liked, etc. Now it's hobby which required a lot of time, and we spent holidays on work, so we were not on the summer holidays for the years. But that's some passion you have for the sport and the race. And at 3 years ago we said, okay, no chance that we can go and making the track, cleaning the track, demarking the track. That means days and days. So we asked and talked with a friend Mike Skinner, who was involved in many races in the World Championship, and he made a team, and they do a really hard work and really nice work in the end. And every time during this period before the race, everyone said, "Oh, no one day more, I will not doing again, etc." But when you have the race and you see so many happy people who ride and enjoy the track, you always get some more energy to say, "Oh, maybe next year again." So this is always something in our mind. So Mike Skinner and the other guys, that's Murdo, Mowgli, James, etc. So this year 6 of them is for more or less 1 month in the forest. So it's really hard work, and we couldn't do it without them. So now they are responsible in the last 3 years. So we had some base, but that we changed a lot in the last 3 years.
That's really awesome to hear. You said that obviously now that you have these guys coming to help you set the track for this year, do you have some, let's say, insider tips or suggestions for any riders to prepare for the race next week? Do you have any suggestions to help them a little bit before the race?
Yeah, yes, gummy tires, that's for sure. Lot of water, and to prepare themselves for the long race, for the hot weather. I don't know, not hurry up. It's a long race, and I think that riders who rode before the rally format, they know that the race is not finished in the first 20 kilometers. You have to ride the next 280 kilometers. So everything can happen, and small mistake can cost you a lot of time. And it's always better to be on your comfort zone side. So every one of us pushing as much as possible, wants to be faster, wants to be, but in the end, on the rally format, you have to ride in your comfort zone. You can't go over it. If on the small races, on the short races, on the laps, etc., you can take a risk a little bit. But if you have 300 kilometers in front of you, then 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something that you pass someone and make the risk can cost you really a lot. Sometimes where you, for example, some downhill, and you have to go from the bike and push the bike only, for example, 10 meters or 20 meters, and you risk it to go it and you're not comfortable, that will cost you, for example, to do damage the bike and lose 1 hour. So sometimes it's much better to go from the bike and walk a little bit. And we saw a lot of pro riders do it with Manny and Billy and Jarvis and everyone who is not comfortable on some situation. They do it the same. They don't want to risk. So amateurs sometimes on the beginning, first day, it's usually the problem. They push hard, they start so many crashes, etc. But my suggestion for the race is don't hurry up a lot, be in comfort zone, and you have to ride a lot.
I think those are some good suggestions for the riders. I hope that they are listening closely. I saw that the riders each day have a maximum of 6 hours to complete the race. But I also saw that riders will be able to ride all 3 days, whether or not they finished the previous day. But then in the end, they just won't make it to the final placement list. Is this correct?
Yes, the point is people come here all over the world, and if he makes a mistake, wrong class, didn't finish the day, from us it's fair play that give them, okay, you start in the end, you ride the race, but you will not calculate your time, but you spend like for your money, you will be in this championship, because everything can happen. And it's, if you have some mistake, you have problem with the bikes or something, and you lose time, it's for us not fair that you sit in the hotel for and wait your airplane for, I don't know, 3-4 days, and watching that the others is riding. So from our side, it's say, okay, let's do it, ride it and enjoy it. And you're not in the timetable, but you can enjoy like you are there.
I think that's really great. I fully agree. I think the riders are there to ride, to experience, being there. So it just makes sense to give them the opportunity to be on two wheels.
If you look general, we can't organizer can't make race, and can't the race can't exist with pro riders. That's small numbers of people who do this professional. So we talked about the amateurs, and amateurs are someone who keep this race that can be live and that people can work. So we don't we maybe that is also one thing that we really look carefully on amateur riders, and we not say okay we just take care about the pro, who cares, you're the amateurs. But on our side everyone is the same, and the pro and the amateurs, so all of them are the competitors on our race. And I think that this is really important for all of them. That's how we see it.
How many riders are you or competitors are you expecting to race next week?
More or less 300, so we are somewhere between 270, 80 or something, so more or less 300s. Somewhere was injured in the previous race on the Erzberg, so cancelled, so they have some friends now who change it, etc. So we will see, but more or less 300.
Awesome. And speaking about injury, I know today, we found out that Manny is injured and will not be
It was
at
the
the
news
race.
yesterday.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
we saw it.
I know that it's very unfortunate for him to be injured, but it does make a very interesting situation for those championship riders and everyone in the pro class. Do you have any specific riders who you think can maybe step up to the challenge and take that number one spot?
I'm not in situation that I can say something, but yes, Manny was the favorite one. He won last year, and he is really in the fit and in the good form. He won Erzberg, he won all races last year, and he is really sharp and push hard. So yes, now everything can be. Some riders like this kind of terrain, some other like this kind. Someone are better in the stony section, some are in the loose forest sections, etc. But I don't know. It's a dry. Everything can happen. No one knows. Someone can damage the bike for something, but I think all these riders like Jarvis, Theo, Gomez, Alfredo, Mario Roman, all of them, Michael Walkner, Wade Young, who was here years before and won many times. So, everything is possible now. Bill is not here, Man is not here, they both are injured, but now everyone can win. So, we don't know. I really don't know.
I think it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be an exciting
Yeah, it
race
will be
too.
a really good fight. Yeah, it
Yes.
will be a really good fight.
Yes. So let's speak a little bit about like the spectators and like the community. So I know that obviously there's the live coverage of the event for people who are not there, but do you have any suggestions or spectator points that you can recommend for anyone who is going to be at the race?
Yes, every year we prepare for each day few spectators points. It's really difficult that you cover so big area. Also, it's problem that you can't go there with the normal car. Somewhere it's not possible to come with the 4x4, and also it's not possible to give someone the points on the track where they can come with the bikes, because then they can go in the opposite direction. It's really dangerous, they can injure someone on the race, etc. So we are looking for the points which are close to the roads, close to some area where where can be in the 15 minutes walk from the roads or something like that. So we prepare for each day some points, and we usually published on our website, and we published on the social medias. And we are looking for some more spots. Is it possible to find? But for sure, we will have each day 5 to 7 spots that the spectators can watch the race. Some of them are really nice with lots of pro riding, up and downs in the close area. Some are where the all riders is passing. For example, someone wants to see some amateur rider, and you know, we would like to have more spectators points, but we are in the really, really remote and wild area, so no possible that they come to these areas.
Yeah, I completely understand that, but I think it's awesome that spectators can have a list and know where they can go to safely watch and spectate the race. I want to ask, are there any specific partners that you or brands that you are working with who have really helped in making this race and planning and preparing for this race a success?
Yeah. Basically, we have an issue because we are out of European Union and we are not a big market, and all the sponsors are looking for the big markets. And we can say that our biggest and partner, and from the beginning, was Akrapovič exhaust system, so from Slovenia, and they really supported us when we were really, really on the beginning, and they support us every year, and we are really happy to say yes, we were partners for 10 years. So this is the partner we have for beginning. But when I say other partners, everyone helps something. We can't say we have so big, but the biggest supports we have from friends who help us, who were volunteers for years, etc. So help with the trucks, with the elevators, with the excavators, and some workings for. That's many of them who helped us a lot, and I can say yes, we have some big one sponsors. So we have this year we worked with the Plews Tyres, which has a good product, and it's a really competitive product, and it's really nice to have these tires and helped us for the track managers and everything. So it's really big support. KTM, local KTM in Serbia support us with the bikes. From others, I don't know, some friends like Bošnjački Logistic, he gave us some trucks. A local authority gave us some excavators, trucks, etc. So, everyone gives something, and all of these people help us, and they are our sponsors. But no big names, but a lot of small names make the big one.
Absolutely. And now my final question, and this is just a fun question: what is your favorite part of the Xross Hard Enduro Rally?
For me, like organizer, it's the best when it's everything finished and no one is injured, and we can drink the beer after the event. For me, that's for sure the best moment of the race. But if we talk about the race, I can't say which day. For sure, second day is more intense at something, but maybe I'm sure hobby riding is the best part of this event. They really enjoy a lot, ride a lot, and I think this is the something really, really good.
Fantastic. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. I'm very excited for our listeners to hear this episode, and I wish you all the best for a successful event, and that your beer tastes that much sweeter at the end of the race.
Thank you so much. It was our pleasure, and we really like that you invite us in this podcast. And we hope that everyone will be without injuries, that everything will be finished, and that we will have the good party on the Saturday night. So this is the best in the end. All these riders are here to enjoy and to have good new friendships, etc. So every time they went from here, say, hey, we meet these guys from abroad. It was nice. It's really interesting when you see the amateurs how they help each other on the race, because you have always first 10 or 15, 20 who is fighting for the podium, etc. But these others are really nice to see how they help each other. They stop for an hour to help or something. So it's a nice event, and we hope everything will be good, and to see you on the Saturday evening on the party. Thank you so much.
You're very
Follow us
welcome.
on our website, on the social medias, and you will find more informations about everything, spectators points, video materials, etc.
Taryn, that was a really cool interview, and I actually learned some things that I didn't know about Xross, like the addition to the adventure riders joining this event inside previous, like the history of Xross, which was really cool.
Yeah, Taryn, firstly, absolutely phenomenal job for your, I guess it's your first interview, but looked like you've done it before. Something that I took out of that interview that I found interesting was the Akrapovič, or is it Akrapovič? You tell us. The Akrapovič live timing, what exactly is that? Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes. So my understanding is that, in a race, I know previously we spoke about Erzberg Rodeo and we discussed how it would be cool to see more riders and have like more riders on the screen and on that live Red Bull Live to see, where everyone was. This is kind of exactly that. So it is the Akrapovič Hard Enduro Live experience, and it's basically like live timing, live tracking, and just like live images of the race while the race is happening. So really for people who are not there, who are not present, but want to keep up to date with what's going on in real time, this is the perfect place to kind of access that kind of information. And I know that you can find it on the irideHardEnduro.com website. So if anyone wants to keep track of the race, that's where you need to go. And I think it just enhances the experience for the race for us who can't physically be there.
Yes, very good point that you touched on. For us that are watching from the sofa, having it easy, I think as we stated in our previous episode following Erzberg, that was something that we were arguing over very often. So hopefully it'll be a much more peaceful experience with this addition to the race.
Yeah, definitely a cool point. But also, let's talk about some of the riders that are entered into this round 3. I know that we have, some pretty sad news actually that, Manny Lettenbergner cannot continue his winning streak because of injury. We have a quick clip from his social media here that we're going to insert, and you can hear pretty much all about it from the man himself.
Quick update for everybody. I was training in Italy and literally on Thursday and my knee locked. First time ever since the operation in 2022, but it's the same meniscus, same issue. So it's it's stuck right now. So I can't just straighten it out, which is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I will get surgery on Tuesday and pretty excited. It's gonna be the same doctor and he's gonna do a very good job, I hope. And then we will be back as soon as possible. Right now, I already told him on the 23rd of July I have to go to Romania and race Romania. And he was like, I think we can make it. So yeah, let's see. Right now I'm still on crutches, so probably another 1.5 weeks after surgery, and then we're good to go. So quick surgery, out, in, and it will be hopefully not a big issue. But let's see what the doctor says after the surgery. But right now I'm quite positive and excited to be back racing and be back in the hard enduro world. So guys,
very unfortunate that he will not be attending the race, but as I mentioned in the interview, it is going to be very interesting for the Pro Championship class. We have a lot of riders who now can take that top spot potentially, and will then be contenders as leaders in this championship race.
Yeah, very good point that you make. Firstly, obviously, sucks for Manny. Hopefully he heals up soon and is able to get back out there. Wishing him a speedy recovery. But it leaves the door completely open for anyone to take a win. And the fact that both Billy and Manny are not out there, I think it's unfortunate. They're both great riders, but I think it's going to make it super exciting because I can't think of who's going to take it.
We have about 12 championship riders in the pro class who are going to be at this event. I can name a couple of them. So we've got Theodore, Mario Roman, Wade Young, Francis Moray Cloter, Alfredo Gomez, Mark Rieber, Matthew Green, Backlap Nedved. Didier Guerrant, Mark Fontorres, Radford Chug, and David Cyprian. So definitely a good group of guys who, of course, have what it takes to take that W. So let's see what the week brings and what the couple days, it is, as you said, a rally. So anything can happen on any day of that event.
And what we heard from some of the Sherco guys like Mario from the Valley's Hard Enduro World Championship Round 1, he definitely favors those long style format races. I've heard from, and we heard from Matthew Green in our previous interview, that Mario is the type of guy that goes and spends 6, 7, 8 hours on the bike as for training. So he definitely has that endurance inside of him, and then obviously the skill to, run it up and see where he can compete with this one.
Yeah, very true. I think there's a stacked field, and one noteworthy name that I took out of the interview that Taryn had is Wade Young. Won this event a couple of times previously. As I've stated, built like a brick house, and when it comes to stamina, I think he's got it. I think that he's got a strong chance, but as you also said, the Sherco boys are... It's so hard to pick, man. It's so hard to pick who's going to take it.
Also quite noteworthy is that we do not have a factory Austrian brand joining this event, which is quite sad. And I also think it's something that hasn't happened in quite a while. I'm not too sure in the history on that. But yeah, no Manny because of his meniscus injury, as well as no Billy because of a knee injury and surgery. And then we do have Michael Walkner that is joining the race on gas, probably supported from the factory, but not for the full series. So this is quite interesting, and I think that, it almost feels like they should have a backup, right? Get someone else on those bikes.
That actually is a very valid point, and it leads me to think, is there no one in the junior category? Now that you mention it, I don't think they have a factory team in juniors. Why would you not do that? I think that it is a good opportunity for someone to fill that spot, as you said. If you had a choice, I mean, like, who would you have to fill that spot? Because surely they must have someone, next in line in case this happens.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question. Who do we have in the juniors that is entering this race?
I think we have about 13 juniors entered, and I'll go through the list quickly of their names. So we have Leon Verland, Valentino Hutter, Saf Seller, Klaus Bischoff, Lenny Goretzky, Auguste Pascal, Barnabas Sismaja, Hugo Crozet, Mark Fernandez Serra, James Moore, Robert Crayston, Ashton Brightmore, Mitch Brightmore, and Luca Maximilian Franz.
So 2 points for me. Really well done on name pronunciation.
I'm trying.
That was good.
I agree. A linguist of the sort. Well done.
And the second point, more juniors than inside the pro class, right?
I think you might be right. I think the pro has 12 and juniors have 13. So the juniors, good job, boys.
Yeah, so surely there has to be someone there that can fill that spot. I imagine, like, you've got to be representing, right? The team has to be represented. Does that mean they're just entirely out? I don't know. But it seems a little bit strange that they don't have a fill-in for Manny.
Chris, what do they do inside motocross, supercross, and on that side? If, let's say, Tomac's out, do they fill his position with the 450 ride?
So I think it's a little bit different. They obviously have more than just one rider on a team to start off with. But in the case of, say, having several riders, okay, obviously in Enduro, that's not the case here. But if you've got a two-man team and both of those riders are injured, they will most likely go looking for a privateer on the same manufacturer of bike and try and bump them up for the season or for a couple of races until their pro rider can return back from injury. Usually they've got someone in the works, and if they don't, then they'll try and scout someone from the field as a privateer and have that spot filled, because it's essential to have the bikes out there and representing the brands.
You gave a good example of someone like this, I think for Kawasaki, that raced in a recent AMA motocross race.
Yes, 100%. He actually won the High Point race this weekend, and his name is Ty Masterpool. He came out of amateurs on a factory ride and then lost that factory ride, has been privateer for a while, and the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team lost some of their riders. and he stepped in from round one. He was notified about 2 days before the event because they needed someone on the bike. And yeah, at round, I believe it's 3 or 4, he cleaned up and took his first overall victory. So yeah, I think it just shows how important it is to have someone out there. It will be interesting to see what KTM do, if they are going to get someone to fill that spot, if Manny's going to return sooner than we know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I think, yeah, definitely interesting. But I think at the same time, maybe for them, they don't have such a big emphasis on the Hard Enduro and Hard Enduro Championship. Like with motocross and supercross, for them, it's, as we've mentioned in a couple of episodes ago, for them, it's like a manufacturer's championship, right? But in a race and in a series like this, it's not really much about the manufacturers and their championship points. It's more just about the riders. So I guess maybe they don't have so much importance and emphasis on a team, whereas they have more, focus on like the top riders.
If you look at the Austrian brands, KTM, GasGas, Husqvarna, for sure they want to win, right? KTM's ready to race, Husqvarna's 4 Pioneers, and the GasGas is
Getting on the gas.
Getting on the gas, exactly. And I think that the Austrian brands have the most established hard enduro platform with the 300 TBI 2-strokes for 2024. So for sure, they need someone taking the victory. Sherco is not too far behind them, and there's definitely a close battle between these two 300 platforms. I know Fantic has also a fuel injection 2-stroke now, really new, but not inside the Hard Enduro World Championship. So it really is between... Oh, and then Beta as well. Beta's also got a 300 2-stroke, which is quite competitive. So it'll be quite interesting to see who fills up that place. But yeah.
I have a conspiracy theory. Now hear me out.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Go.
Paul Bolton, factory KTM, replacing Manny.
Wow.
Full time. Not only is he on the bike, but he's also on the camera, on the floor, sections. Power moving through there, nimble, the crouching tiger takes the victory and gets the shots.
Wow.
I like
You
it.
heard it here
love
first.
I love it. It's a good idea.
It's not the first time that we've seen a hard enduro rider come out from retirement. Like Tadej Blazusiak went into retirement, and then very shortly after came back into the racing scene. So Paul Bolton.
Factory that's my conspiracy theory. I think it's going to happen, and got a feeling in my fingers and my toes.
Let's actually take an example of our, maybe not your theory so much, Chris, but just the theory of a junior moving up into the hard enduro or into a factory team, and if there's like an injury or something. For example, let's take someone like Matthew Green, right? Okay, he's not a junior right now, but if he had to step up into the Manny's position for the rest of the season or the rest of the time where Manny's injured, Matthew Green then can support or, let's say, keep the flag held high for KTM Factory Racing. Someone like a South African like James Moore or maybe Thomas Scales can then take Matthew's position inside the Rego Racing team. So I think that this, for me, actually works pretty well. I think that not only do you satisfy the brand that the rider's injured on, like you can get that brand exposed, but then also you can get new blood and new talent and expose some new riders to the world of hard enduro. So what are your thoughts about that?
I think it's definitely an interesting theory. Whether or not we would see something like that actually come to play, I'm not convinced. I think that, personally speaking, the industry and a lot of brands are quite set in their ways. And so I think like a big change up and a big, idea like that would definitely be, as I said, just a big change. And so I would love to see it, but I have my doubts.
I actually think that it's a missed opportunity on KTM's behalf. I think specifically speaking about Matty Green, what a good personality. Like how much attention would it bring having him on that bike? And he's just such a likable character. I think that from a marketing perspective, I guess, or just like media perspective, I think it could generate quite a lot of buzz. It would be interesting to see him in the full-blown orange colors. And yeah, I think it would be something that would not shake up the industry, but it would have people talking.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that this is just an example for sure, but it can work with all the other riders, or let's say a specific junior rider, right? Like Mitch and Ashton, right? Or
Valentino Hutter. Recently, I had an
Valentino
interview with him, so make sure to check that out. It'll be coming out soon.
yeah, for sure. So I think that that's quite an interesting topic. So for juniors, we've still got Ashton and Mitch, which are doing super well. That said, we're going into rally style racing now, so multiple days, big days on the bikes. So it'll be interesting to see who will be stacking up against them.
I have a theory, and to be honest, I'm going to put my money on Valentino because he did so well in Romaniacs last year, which was a rally style race. How many of the other riders have experience in a rally style multi-day race and have a good performance record? I don't know. Let's see. It's going to be really interesting. I don't want to obviously put any pressure on anyone, but I don't know. I think we can have some surprises there.
I also want to mention James Moore because he is I think a podium finisher at the Roof of Africa, which is also a 2-day rally style race. Big days on the bike. So he's definitely got some experience as well, and for sure he's out there training with the boys inside Lesotho. So I think that he's also got a good shot at this.
Let's move into some ladies. So this will be the second round that we have the Women's Hard Enduro Performance Award supported by 24MX. Last year, Tasman Jones was the winner at the Xross Hard Enduro Rally in Serbia. This year, I'm not sure because we don't have that many women. We have, from what I can see, only 3 women entered, and they are different classes. So in the race in general, you have your pro class, expert class, hobby class, and amateur class. In our expert class, we have quite a surprising entry. Kirsten Landman will be participating for the first time.
No ways.
Yes.
That is crazy. Well, my money's on her. That's my pick. Done and dusted.
The second woman who is entered into the hobby class is Tassa, and she was at, Earthsburg Rodeo, and she did pretty well. So, and she's also a winner, but not of this round previously, but also could give Kristen a
Kristen a Landman. We should keep that in.
No. Could give Kirsten a run for her money. And then we also have one more rider in the amateur class, Lisa Bowman I think she's from the UK. So 3 women. Interested to see how they stack up against, honestly, just against the race and the terrain and just, this.
Yeah, either way, they're all winners. I definitely, they're already miles ahead of me. I would never be entering anything like this. Hats off. If we had to each choose one of the women for the award, go.
Definitely Kirsten.
No, I already chose her.
But why do I have to choose someone else?
Because I chose her first.
I choose Kirsten as well.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay, no pressure, Kirsten, but our money's on you.
I've been noticing that she's been training in Hilton, which is the birth or the home of hard enduro inside South Africa. And she's been training with Wild Will and the boys out there. So it makes complete sense that she is entered into this race. She has also quite a bit of experience with the Roof of Africa, with Red Bull Romaniacs. She's entered Dakar before, so she's definitely more of that rally style rider. Got multiple days under her belt and can keep going. She's got the fuss bait.
So that brings our episode just about to an end. Before we finish, I'd like to make a few announcements. First of all, as you know, we are working very closely with Xgrip, and in the next episode that will be coming out, it's an interview with Valentino Hutter. We have a giveaway.
Ooh.
I know. So be sure to head over to that episode, listen carefully when it comes out, and listen and hear more about what the giveaway entails.
Super exciting. Thanks, Xgrip, for supporting us and then also supporting our listeners with some giveaways. That's super cool. Can we enter?
No, because we do not live in the European Union.
What if I enter a fake alias and location and address?
I will know.
Damn it. So, besides the giveaway, there's something new that I noticed on the back of your laptop, Taryn. Have we partnered with someone new?
We do have someone who has come on board to help support the World Hard Enduro podcast. A big thank you to Plews Tyres. And I'm sure we'll be seeing more and hearing more about them in future episodes. It's the wrong way, Christopher.
It was the right way.
No, that's the right way.
Well, Plews Tyres, thanks for coming on board. We look forward to having experience accompanied by you and your team. Shout out to Plews.
That brings this episode to an end. We'd like to thank you for making it to the end of our podcast episode about the Xross Hard Enduro Rally. Be sure to follow them on their social media as well as on the iRide Hard Enduro website for the live timing. And of course, we would love your support, so make sure you like, subscribe, comment, as well as share with your friends.
And don't forget to add gas.
But really, guys, if you want to support this podcast, I think the best way that you can do this is just by sharing it with your buddies, because they would be interested in following the world of hard enduro, as well as head over to the Valentino Hutter episode where we've got a giveaway. So guys, enter that. Guys and girls, enter that. We don't know how and what it's going to be exactly just yet, but enter that and be sure to stand a chance to win some pretty cool items from our
illustrious sponsors.